Oh my God, leave meeting.
It did it alone.
Why do I want to leave the meeting? I just got here.
I know. This is.
It gave me an option of my privacy.
I need to change the settings. I need to change the settings of this thing because it's being really, really freaky.
Oh, give me that option.
The recording stuff. But that is right, guys. This is a podcast for all the fellows. Ladies can listen if you're not too jealous. That's what our intro says. Kind of weird. But yep, we're back with another episode of the Three Warlocks podcast. I'm your host, Vega, and with me, like always, I have Snail and Ness, my other panel of Warlocks. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. How was you guys' weeks? I haven't talked to you guys in a whole week. So how you guys been?
I've had the strangest of weeks. It's very stressful, being away from home all week and then trying to sell a house, buy a house, and do everything else. And then a weird conversation with the people I bought the house from, who emailed me saying, if you want the oven, it's an extra £500. I was like, what? Surely the oven came with the house, like I was told. To which they then came back saying, you can have it for free of charge this time. As if there was going to be another time.
Wow.
It sounds like they were keeping that oven at like ransom. If you want this oven, it'll be £500. I'm like, whoa, what's happening, bro? That's pretty good. So you were able to find your home, right? You found a house you like?
I found a house that I liked and I had an offer accepted. So I'm moving house at some point.
Yep. That's awesome.
And it has an oven. So
and it has an oven. That's good to know. It
has an oven now.
There's nothing more stressful than trying to buy and find a house. I think it's up there.
There was a great conversation with the mortgage lady as I was traveling through London. So I had to have a meeting with them in two 45-minute parts between visits of different stores. So I chatted away to this lady about my mortgage, and then I was like, "Oh, there's some deers next to me," and she went, "You're in Richmond Park, aren't you?" I went, how do you know where I was? She was like, well, you said you were traveling through London. I live around the corner.
Oh, like, man.
Oh, all right.
So she knows her area pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
How about you, Ness? How was your week?
It's stressful. My boss is gone. I think this is the first week of her gone. And it's funny because you think it'd be super stressful, but it's actually been an all right week. Yeah. So we'll see what next week looks like. But then I'm going on vacation after that. So
that's good. A much needed vacation. So that's awesome. My week's been pretty good. When it comes to if it's pretty good, you mean traveling all across my state, going to random places. And I know a few episodes ago I was making fun of Snail because he was traveling all over his beautiful country, and I'm like, come on, man, you don't like driving this? Oh, it's horrible. Like, I kid you not, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
I had to like position myself many different times. Obviously, my foot doesn't touch the gas pedal because of cruise control, so I'm like trying to adjust myself, and it's just it's the most painful thing. As soon as you get out of the car, it's like I'm 38, 39 years old. It feels like I'm 106. You know, trying to stretch all those muscles out there, being sit down. I'm like, oh man, I don't even wish that on my worst enemy. But kudos for everybody who's driving out there, listening to this podcast. Enjoy yourself.
Don't fall asleep at the wheel.
Don't fall asleep at the wheel.
Travel further than you think.
You travel further than you think. That's very scary. That's very scary. All right, guys. Well, another episode for us, episode 33. The TWAB was fairly small. There was information there, but it wasn't a lot of information like our previous TWAB when we had all of those stasis breakdown of each thing that was going to get nerfed and by how much and stuff like that. This TWAB is pretty straightforward. Starts with a story. We get into some Iron Banner stuff that we're going to talk about. Also some fashion show that Ness is going to give us her information or her insight on that. And then closes with, I think it's like a little spoiler or something to see into the future. Like a little treat, a little picture. And we're going to be discussing that picture, which I have a theory. I'm sure all of you guys have a theory on that picture. But
yes, I do.
All right. This week at Bungie, Mithrax told the Legend of the Saint. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I haven't played most of this week because of work. And I was talking to Snail before the show, and he told me to definitely watch this story. It gets played out as soon as you jump in on this weekly reset that happened. So, over the last few weeks, the tower has been bathed in darkness due to the endless night. Guardians have been exploring the Vex network in search for the solution to this chilling predicament. With each override, which we have 3 now, we have stepped closer to our goals. Expunge. Mithrax has been with us from the start, but took a moment this week to share what it's like as a member of the House of Light. And that's when we're talking about that story. If you guys haven't had a chance to see that story, there's a clip on YouTube. Bungie has little, little area where you can go and watch it too, from the site, also from the website too. But check it out. I know I will. But anything that you can tell us, Snail, without being somewhat of a spoiler, or what can you?
If you put the little picture on, that's enough of a tease.
Okay.
To scare people, and it's an interesting perspective. I think it was your wife, Vega, that said that when you told her about what was going on in the game, that are we the enemy?
Oh yeah.
And actually,
we were like the villains.
It's an interesting viewpoint, because as you will see from this picture, that is the Elixir's view of Saint, which is quite a scary image.
Our lovable,
and that's all I'll say. You'll watch
in the
rest.
tower. That's him.
Our Russian.
That's him.
That is our Russian. Yes.
Man, that is insane. But yeah, you know what? I will check it out. And if you guys haven't
all
checked it out,
this season, if you'd been listening, Mithrax's daughter has been doing a little bit of lore in the little Elixir quarter bit. And she keeps talking about stories they tell of the evil thing behind the scenes, and they tell children these dark tales of this dark being. The dark being they're referring to is Saint. He's quite scary.
Yeah, he's their boogeyman.
That is very interesting. So I'm about to check out that story. And if you guys don't, or haven't had a chance to do it, just check the website or check YouTube. I'm sure everything's broken down for you guys there. Well, another Iron Banner is upon us. This one's a little bit different. This Iron Banner is going to have the stasis nerfs in it. Not like last week. Last Iron Banner we had, it was all stasis all the time. Felt like everybody was running stasis because it was the most powerful subclass. But now with the stuff that changes that they did last week with the stasis, which I believe that patch dropped yesterday on Thursday.
Yeah.
We were talking about how weird it was dropping on Thursday. But yeah, that's going to be the only difference with that is that this week is going to be, you're going to be seeing a lot more light subclasses, which is very interesting. But weapons return. We're going to have the sniper rifle, the machine gun, the hand cannon, and the shotgun, which apparently the shotgun and the machine gun are like leprechauns.
They were broken, weren't they, before you can get them from anything.
Correct. And I believe we're going to be talking about that patch that's going to come out there. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Iron Banner starts 10 a.m. on Tuesday, 6/8, June 8th, and it's going to go all the way to the following Tuesday, the 15th. So that's that, guys. Well, let's talk about splicing down the runway. Looks like we have a little fashion show. And with that, we go to our correspondent, who not only takes care of known issues, but she also takes care of our fashion department.
Which is fun. It's funny that I'm that person, considering that we had remember that test of who were fashion designers, and I had to guess, and I had all of them wrong.
Yes, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Totally different.
All right.
So everybody knows this season of the Splicer actually bought a really cool character screen that you can actually go ahead and put shaders, and then you've got the ornaments where you can actually change your stuff with a transmog. So super cool. Right now, what Destiny's trying to do, what Bungie's trying to do is, basically have, engaged Guardians to go ahead and send out their eye-catching fashions to Bungie. So you can go in here and you can change around all your gear, put something really cool on, and then send it to hashtag Splicer Fashion Show. What they'll do is they'll retweet it, and you'll get votes, and you'll get this really cool, which I really like the emblem.
It's really
it's nice.
Really nice.
Yeah. And I think Snail, you actually put a character in, correct?
I did, yeah. I haven't entered to that though, because that didn't exist at the time. But I got retweeted by Destiny Fashion when I posted my 3 Guardians. So I'll repost the picture and see with the hashtag and see what happens.
Oh, I see you're wearing your winter outfit.
I've gone for the winter outfit with the Warlock. I can do the summer one if you'd prefer. And then I have my my sort of Sith Lord Hunter and my Lollipop Titan.
Oh,
there you go.
Your Lollipop Titan. I like that helmet on the Titan. That looks pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when was the puffer jacket? Well, what season was that? Is that an ornament?
That is a year 1 ornament.
Oh.
And you know, it's cold in Europa. It's always snowing, so I needed a winter get up. You know,
That is
the
a
helmet
fashion
from
show right there. Yeah, that's a fashion show. He's telling us where he's going to go. It's like when Snail spends
know.
time in Europa, he wears this.
For the winter. Yes, I like it. Is that the helmet from Crown of Sorrows, I think? No, that's
that
Leviathan.
is Prestige Leviathan.
Yep,
that's right. I knew it was from one of the raids. And then you've got your emu pants.
Emu pants.
Yep. The Geomags. The Geomags.
Geomags with the special
This actually looks very, very good. This is like if you're out in the snow, very Europa-ish. That's actually really good.
I was going for snow boots. I didn't like the ones that came with that season, so I made my own.
Really? I hope that you're actually running Arc though. I mean, there's but I hope you're running Arc.
I am running Arc.
Okay,
guys, this must be really difficult for everybody listening to the podcast, but look at our YouTube channel. I'm just going to give it a real quick shout out that we're actually watching the picture of Snail's characters all decked out to go to the YouTube channel 3 Warlocks. It's awesome.
So if you're listening right now, he is sporting a very nice black puffer jacket with a very nice prestige helmet. His whatchamacallit, what the heck are those pants called again? The legs?
Geomags stabilizers.
The Geos. I always call them the goth boots.
Yeah, the goth boots.
And he's sporting his Conqueror little label there too.
The title.
I see that. I see what you did there.
Which he bought.
Yeah.
He went and bought it. He had somebody else play his character.
Bought Conqueror.
His little Conqueror badge there. Nice. Yeah, I really like your Hunter.
The Hunter comes with a red sword. It does look like a lightsaber.
You see, I went for something a little different. Go ahead and put my Warlock on. Yeah. You see that? That's watermelon, guys.
It's not easy being green. Is that it?
That's the sexiest shader in Destiny is watermelon. Everyone should sport it. See that?
Yeah.
It looks like I have moss all over me. Yeah.
It looks like you fell asleep in a forest and then it grew over you.
Grew over you. Looks nice.
The helmet and the pants are actually from Trials. The chest piece, I want that's just an ornament. And the gloves are just an ornament. I want to say it's from this season.
Ooh.
But yeah, look at that. It's not easy being greeny. All right, can you please move to my Titan? Yeah.
Are you rocking the same shader too, or what?
Yeah, watermelon.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, I'm telling you, watermelon is just, it's ignored, but it's a very good shader, guys. You guys should all sport it. It's this season's colors.
Oh, look
Is it?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so you can put my next one up. So this is my Hunter. Out of respect for Peak, I could not put watermelon on my Hunter. And look how adorable she looks. So yeah, I want to say this
looks like a frozen statue. She should have gone for the winter look.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually the new Cheddar White, which is what, Bitter Pearl.
Yep.
So yeah, that's from the raid. That's the raid shader. But yeah, I think all the armor is just an ornament from Solstice, I believe.
Okay.
Super cool. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the transmog now? Since we had about a month to mess around with it, a little bit less than a month to mess around with it. You guys like it?
So I do like it. I wish I'd known about it earlier, so I could have finished farming out some of the armor that I'm missing. So I have nearly everything on my Warlock, but my Hunter is missing some of the stuff from some of the old raids, and actually some really good armor in the old raids for the Hunter.
Yeah, really nice stuff.
If I'd known earlier, I would have spent more time trying to get those pieces of armor.
Oh yeah. What about you, Ness? You like it?
Used it very much. I haven't used it very much. My Warlock has, I think I have transmogged maybe about 5 things. And then for my Titan and my Hunter, both maybe 2 things each. I mean, look at that beautiful freaking Warlock all greened up. So normally I use Metro Shift, which is a really nice shader, but couldn't help myself. Watermelon, guys. You guys should sport it this year. Yeah. So once they're going to be picking the winners, and they're going to announce the winners June 7th through June 12th. And it's going to be at Destiny the Game. So they're going to have the community managers reach out so you can go ahead and wear your sweet new album, your emblem. Yeah,
awesome.
But yeah, so get creative. They say that you can actually do it from the Guardian appearance screen, or you can do something from out in the worlds and stuff like that. It's not going to give you more kudos, but it's just, if that's what you want to send them.
Yeah, I think one of the ones they had previously was you had to be out in the world.
Yeah,
that was
this one.
That was different.
So yeah, this one not so much.
So this one's out in the open, but looks like it might be a little tough this year, because if you had some pretty good chance to do it last year, you came pretty close doing it last time. Excuse me. This time there's so many combinations, so many choices. That's going to be pretty hard to find some really good ones. So I don't know if shaders matter. Not as much now. It looks like the appearance is what's going to knock it down. Which armor pieces are you going to put together? And like I said, I do like your snow, like going on a snow day armor that Snail has. Pretty neat. Pretty interesting.
Who else would go for the winter look?
Not a whole lot of unique. In the summer, not a whole lot of people. I can tell you that. Jeez, guys. Well, like I was talking before, this patch dropped yesterday. We're recording the podcast on a Friday. Dropped on Thursday. The 3.2.0.3, which had a bunch of things to do with the stasis tunings, but it also had some few issues that they've been tracking. Snail's going to bring that to you guys right now.
Yeah, so there was a lovely message if you'd logged on after the update Thursday saying, warning, this game can cause you seizures from photosyntheticity, which was quite entertaining considering I've been playing for nearly 3 years and it's never told me before now. So I could have died many moons ago, but luckily I didn't. So it's all good in the world.
It's those colorblind options you have in there.
Colorblind people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So they've added a permanent notice to the end user license because there's been some reports of people who have been affected by what they've seen, and I guess it's because we've gone for the 80s theme and Tron, and all the flashing lights has triggered some people to have some episodes, shall we say? But yeah. There's a new patch, there's a new warning. Please be careful, is what I'll say.
Good.
And then the next bit they've been talking about is teleporting enemies update. So if you remember back probably 10 or 12 weeks ago, maybe, they talked about the fact that when Beyond Light launched, they were having problems with the amount of data and then teleporting enemies, and it was more prevalent in certain activities. Brilliantly portrayed in Gambit, where an enemy would be in 3 locations at once and motes wouldn't be able to be picked up. And we kind of see some of that now. If you've been doing the new missions, motes are still an issue. It'll be very hard to pick them up, and enemies do come and go. But they've been looking to fix that, and part of Tuesday they tweaked some bandwidth limits that should reduce the issue with the AI and teleporting across the game. I haven't noticed so far any difference, but I haven't played Gambit, so I did notice earlier Rob moving across the map like he was some sort of teleporting machine, and then quite quickly exited the game and the Xbox turned off. So I don't think that was anything to do with Bungie. I think that was him. But But yeah, that's what's going on. Back to you in the studio, Vega.
Thank you. You think that issue about the bandwidth, you think that could have been the reason why that person you were playing with during the crossplay was running faster than you guys by like 10 miles per hour?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the only thing I
Yeah.
can think of, because those things are tricky. We haven't played Deep Soul Crate in a while, and that's very visible towards the last boss. A lot of the enemies are kind of teleporting, so it'd be kind of nice to go check it out, see if they actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
But that's not only
It's
the
that
only
first encounter where they come through the door 3 times before they enter.
Yeah, that could be. That's a problem. That's a problem. But that's not the only issue that's been happening. There's been some PC performance issues, and ever since Beyond Light dropped, there's been some people kind of expressing themselves that their PC have been experiencing some less than ideal performances. And they give us an explanation. When Bungie went underground, and underground is during the whole pandemic, they released Beyond Light, and once again we give them kudos for doing this entire game pretty much at home, and that's what they're talking about. They did this whole thing at home. So what they were saying that they didn't have the right equipment to test certain things in their studio. You know, there were some PC compatibility labs that they had to do more in-depth testing. But now over time, what their goal is to get everything situated, to get everything back so you can have the right performance for your PC. That is their ultimate goal. Today, they feel like they're getting closer to that, to meet that goal, and they're going to be continuing to work to get that accomplished here pretty soon. And like I said, it was rough year 2020, and it's very amazing that all the stuff that they were able to do pretty much underground, you know, from home, and that stuff really showed in the game, especially on the PC side. But they're not going to leave you high and dry. They're going to make it right, and they're doing that. But by every patch, it looks like they're fixing little things here and there. So they're going to be taking that for you guys. Yeah, I don't have a PC. I do feel bad for the guys that have a PC, because that's a very expensive equipment, and I'm sure you want to have the right experience going in there, especially in the game that you've invested some money on, and also you love. But Bungie's listening, and Bungie's working on it to get that issue resolved for you guys. The Sponge rewards. Let's talk about that.
Yes, let's. So Bungie are obviously selling me my house, because obviously they gave me an oven, then took it away again, and then re-gave it to me. So
That's
similar
exactly
to
what they
Expunge, funny enough. so of course they advertised that we were going to get Pinnacle gear or Pinnacle rewards from Expunge on the seasonal calendar. But that activity won't give us the Pinnacle gear until the weekly challenges start on June 15th. So the calendar and the articles will reflect that better going forward, so people understand it, because it wasn't very clear. And quite clearly they were giving me something, I then took it away, and then wanted to charge me £500 to have it back. So it's now free.
Yeah.
On June 15th only.
Yeah, when I was trying to explain the whole thing last week, I was like, you're going to get something, but you're not going to get something. But you are getting something, but it's not what you really want, which is obviously that Pinnacle gear. But yeah, like Snail says, June 15th is the day. Is that going to be the time where they release all of their Grandmaster Nightfalls too as well? Do you know? Or
yes.
Is that further? Oh, it is. Okay. That'll be awesome. Looking forward to that. Well, this patch we were talking about, this hotfix 3.2.0.3 that dropped on Thursday, was able to fix a few things that was going on. So that when you go to the empty tank lost sector, it's going to correctly reward you the leg exotics when it comes around, because it's on a cycle when it comes around, when it's advertised. I know some people were getting upset because they were getting helmets, maybe, or gauntlets or something like that.
Yeah.
They're kind of upset about it, especially if you don't have the right RNG. It takes you 30 times to get a piece of armor. And that could be pretty upsetting. The Anchor Slender machine gun and Wrist Walker shotgun is now going to be acquired from Lord Saladin, Iron Engrams, bounties, and post-match Iron Banner rewards. So if you save your tokens from the previous Iron Banner, make sure you pop them this week coming up, because you will have a chance to now get that shotgun and the machine gun that you weren't able to get last Iron Banner. And then also the Stasis subclass balancing changes that they were brought up from last week. I know last episode we spent time explaining everything that was going to happen to the behemoth, everything that's going to be happen to the hunter and the warlock subclass. But if you have some time, I want to do some advertisement here. Make sure to go to YouTube and check out these two streamers, Aztec Cross and Lucky 10p. And what they do is they break down everything that Bungie said that we're going to do. So they go out there with their friends, they go on a map, and they test the freezing, they test the weapon damage, they test the I guess the flinch. We're talking about that, Snail. Whenever you get frozen, if your flinch is going to make a difference from that. So they test that. They test supers. Really in-depth videos. Definitely check it out, man. That's really, really cool. We can't get into everything here ourselves. I haven't had a chance to play, so I haven't really noticed anything. Have you guys noticed anything on PvP when you guys been on this week?
There's been less stasis in PvP when I've gone on,
which makes sense.
But the issue, I think, more than anything else, is the effects in PvE, because now most of those subclasses aren't that useful anymore. In fact, Titans are a waste of time now. It seems odd when we were only affecting PvP that we've affected PvE. And we know they can balance it properly and just affect one and not the other. Yeah.
And that was my concern. I think I brought it up to you guys before the show, is that Bungie, what they did right now with stasis was what the masses wanted. They wanted something done with stasis. It was too overpowered. It was taking over the whole thing. But the way they went about it, I felt it was almost like putting a band-aid in a broken leg, because they, instead of working on the other subclasses to make them up to par with stasis, because stasis is amazing. I love it. It's good. It's different. It gets overused, and it's really frustrating when it's the most powerful thing you can use besides the other subclasses. If Bungie would have gone back, elevated the subclasses, maybe added some aspects to those light subclasses, it would have made a much bigger of a difference. And my concern is that with Bungie's new model, what they want to go moving forward, especially with PvP, is that they want to get 3 pillars accomplished, which is, primary weapon, or just weapon battles, being the primary focus. Your armor buildup has to be a focus too as well. Make sure, it rewards you for, getting certain stats up and certain stats down. And then also the abilities. They don't want you to rely too much on the abilities. They're going to be used on specific times where they're going to be useful for. And with keeping, or with nerfing stasis, it did help on certain things where it's not so much popular in PvP, but those aspects are still there. If I want to get plus 10 mobility, plus 10 strength, plus 10, you're still going to have that option. You're still going to have a heads up or an advantage on your enemy on PvP. And if you put that on a person who's really good at gunplay, and we're just going to go back to the same thing. We're going to have shotgun apes. We're going to have people using, weapons that we hate. Am I wrong to say this stuff? It makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think they've misunderstood their information. Because if I look at my play style with the subclasses, the majority of the time I'm using Arc. But if I'm using anything that I need to have sustainability, or I need to be less spongy, then I'll use stasis, only because it gives me the ability to use the aspects to give me a stronger character, not because I'm using the super as such. It's a completely different. You've handicapped light subclasses by giving stasis a way of making a build that is stronger than anything else. It's nothing to do with the super. I might not use the super in the entire thing, but having an extra 40 or 50 points in stats,
that makes a difference.
It's massive when it comes to Grandmasters.
Yes.
That's true. Actually, I feel like for stasis, it's exactly what you're saying. You go through the fragments, you see which stats you want to raise, which ones you don't care about them being lower. Because I know I'm running something right now that slows people, but they changed it so much that it only slows them like it's not even a good amount of time. But it gives me plus 10 in strength, or it gives me plus 10 in recovery or resilience. To be honest, the only thing that stasis for me has been good at with PvP is that it stops people. Like the melee of freezing somebody and stopping them and then punching them in the face, like that's really the benefit of stasis right now. besides that it's giving you extra stats somewhere else. Because I'm going to tell you, with every time you come around the corner, someone drops a grenade that freezes you or slows you. It's hard to compete with that with a tiny little arc soul. I think the only thing that the arc soul does for PvP is tells you where they're at. That's really about the only thing. You put it on, and as soon as it starts firing off, you just look in that direction because there's someone there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really about it. I know that what's the one, the melee for the top tree, Dawnblade, that used to actually hurt them quite a bit. Yeah, but it doesn't do the same damage as it did before. So that one's not even as helpful as it used to be. But Stasis has that perk that it slows people or stops them.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that they really could not. I think they should have actually done something with the other supers to make them more, as equal to Stasis.
Yeah.
As we found, though, every time that they tweak something, it affects something else that they weren't expecting.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's probably why they'd rather mess with the one than do all of them, because we never know what's gonna happen.
Well, keep in mind that all
they've already
changes...
talked about the fact in an interview that they're looking to get rid of subclasses because they're underused.
Certain ones, right? Is that what it was? Like there's certain subclasses that we're going to get rid of. I think that was Luke Smith, right? It was like it was
Luke Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Luke Smith. We don't. He's. We talk. The only person we care about is Mr. Oh, what is his name again? Blackman? Not Blackman, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's all we care about him. He's the new Luke Smith. But but honestly, yeah. I mean, that's something that. Think about it. All these changes were slated for season 15, and they pushed them. I don't know if that's going to kind of bite them in the butt in the future, but they did this for a reason. I don't think that they are done. And I think what they did is they dropped this on us right now, and they're going to get the feedback, because from the videos that I saw, man, some of those changes are completely drastic. Somebody throws one of those grenades where you're kind of domed up. I forget what it's called. It's like the freezing grenades, like in a dome. And remember, you used to walk super slow, like you can just like literally walk across like nothing happened. So some of those things are like worthless. Like, why even use that grenade at all?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to be doing some tweaking in later patches. They're going to realize, hey, we ended up nerfing this way too hard, and we're going to bring it right back, which they've done before in certain characters. They nerfed the Warlock really low, and they realized, that was pretty low, and then they brought it back up, and then they nerfed it again. So it's kind of
they hate us.
The confusing thing is that Damage said on Twitter the other day when it came live that it felt really good in playtesting. And I've got a question. How, when streamers go and playtest it, it doesn't feel good in anything, although it now makes PvP in a better place, I guess.
Yeah.
How they didn't see that when they went into their playtesting. How did they do playtesting when it came out originally? Surely someone said everybody's just going to be frozen all the time.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how they test it. Do they have just a core group of people that basically love Bungie, who can't really give them a proper critique?
No, yeah. It's rough.
I mean, it makes you wonder,
It's rough. But correct my ignorance, Snail. I haven't played this week. Be truly honest with you. Has any of these changes affected PvE while using Stasis?
Yeah, so I haven't used Stasis since, because they remembered that key word they used, crowd control. Well, by the fact that they've nerfed some of these things, it's lessened the crowd control effect that we can do. So that grenade you're on about, the enemies can walk through it as well.
Okay.
But I thought it wasn't supposed to. These changes weren't supposed to affect PvE. That it was supposed to be.
They
that
didn't
was
say
the goal.
that
That's the goal
specifically.
But they didn't specifically say that. That was the goal, but they didn't specifically say this is going to be separated. Exactly. Yeah.
They just said, wouldn't it be a great idea if they said that?
For the longest time, that couldn't be done. They always said, we can't separate PvE from PvP. There's always been that hate or that toxicity between the PvP community, PvE community. This is not a PvE game and stuff like that. This is not a PvP game. There's always been that. And Bungie's trying to figure out a way to do kind of meet both people in the middle, stuff like that. I mean,
they need to call Ubisoft. Ubisoft figured it out.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how they're doing that. I mean, we are paying $10 for deals for little seasons. So I mean, that's not a lot of money that Bungie can work with. If they want to do something major, I mean, they're gonna have to start just $20 or something. But
no, not that.
you will lose.
Okay.
You will lose a lot of people, especially if you raise prices on certain things and the game is not up to their standards. But a lot of stuff to talk about. But like I said, if you guys want to check out those changes on stasis, look up those videos on YouTube under Aztec Cross did a really good one, and then Lucky too. He did one also really good. Almost done with the part of the show where almost done with the TWAB. But before we do that, there's some weekly known issues, and with that, we have Ness to bring us to that.
Hello. Okay, so they're still looking into some PlayStation issues where people are getting the Beagle error. Exile Trials armor can't display the Solstice glow. Gravity cannons while playing in Expunge can kill the players if they walk behind it. The stat tracker for the fastest Expunge is not working properly. This one I'm not a Titan, so I don't know about this one, but it's they're using the charge of life stacks are being used when they throw a shield when their super is half full while they have energy converter mod equipped. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds bad, right? So these are currently the weekly known issues. It was a short list, but I'm pretty sure last week's are still there. So if you want to look at the whole list, go to known issues article.
Yeah.
And there was nothing
I learned
from the
from experience that you can't walk up behind and creep up behind one of those gravity cannons. You have to introduce yourself first, because they do kill you if you try and creep up on them.
You gotta bow. Hello.
You got to bow, curtsy, introduce yourself.
I feel like, aren't
before
they
you insert yourself in them.
Aren't they a certain color? Because the colorblind community or society, as I like to call them, might be the ones getting killed. This could be really dangerous for them.
It's because they're the wrong color and I keep walking into them.
Yeah. But I like that. I like that saying that Snail said. What was that, Snail? Introduce yourself before what?
Before inserting yourself.
Before inserting yourself. That. Oh my God. Guys, this has been a crazy week in Destiny. We're in full swing season of the Splicer. So far, so good. We had all 3 of the override missions dropped. We left every one of them. The Expunge mission, everything's coming out, man. We're getting a little bit closer to that. The reason why the tower and everything else is in darkness. Iron Banner next week. We have some raid challenges coming up for Vault of Glass difficulty 2. Sources of Heroes. We haven't touched any of these stuff, and there's so much stuff coming up ahead. But the Bungie did too, is that there's something else that's coming, and they're gonna share with us a little preview. I got a little picture I want to share with you guys. And once again, if you have the YouTube channel, you guys can see this as well. Check this out. This is a little picture that Bungie dropped. This is something to look forward to. They're still talking about how the best days of Destinies are ahead of us, and this is a preview of what it is. And I don't know if you guys remembered. I want to say maybe about I'm gonna be kind of lucky here. Maybe about 8 or 7 TWABs ago, they gave us a concept art for the Witch Queen armor. And it was a Titan, a Warlock, and then also a Hunter. And the Hunter had this specific, almost like a astronaut looking,
hazmat suit.
Yeah,
hazmat suit.
Yeah, kind of an astronaut, cloak that it had in there. And then these are the letters. If I can explain it to the listeners, it's like circles, very, I guess, aging of a 9, probably the best way I can describe it. But somebody on Reddit kind of broke it down and said that those were elemental letters. Or am I right?
Corrosion elements,
yeah.
Sodium, salt.
So yeah. So it kind of gives you an idea or a preview of what the next possible subclasses that are tied with stasis are going to be about. But the thing that interested me the most out of this picture, and if you guys are watching the same thing, and also on YouTube, you guys are watching it, is the background. Looks very jungly, very foresty. I know there's been speculations of certain locations that we're going to be going towards. I pray to God. The first thing I thought when I saw this is like, please do not give me Venus. We're there don't give me something that I already had, please.
Mhm.
You know, very jungly. That's when I think of junglies, I think about this. Maybe the EDZ. I know it's not. There's no way this can be the EDZ. It has to be a new location, right? Makes sense to me. Some things that were floating around is Old Chicago, and if you don't recognize that, Old Chicago is a concept that Bungie had from the beginning. They fell in love with that location. They wanted to do something with that. Also, someone said the hills of Bombay, or is that something to do with the early concept art? They were trying to go maybe to Africa, some of the jungles out there, do some work with that. I don't know, but please don't take me to Venus. I've been there, done that. You know, I do like the nostalgia aspect of it, but with this amazing armor, which it looks sharp, man, it looks neat.
Mhm.
And from the coding or the little hints they're giving us, it's going to be even better if it's, you know, extremely weird subclasses that we've never seen. Take us to a different location, take us somewhere different that's tied in with the Witch Queen. I know Snail has a lot of information to go through, some lore stuff about the Savathun and the Witch Queen, but I don't know. That's my take on that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I could give you two cents on this picture as well. Because if you look at the Witch Queen logo, it's also green with a swamp background.
Okay.
And I would suggest that's more swamp-like. There has been hints at Old Chicago for a while, especially since the launch of Beyond Light. There was hints previously to that, which I'll cover in a second, but Old Chicago is in a swampland, and all the buildings are covered in old sort of swampish stuff. Now, Graviton Lance, if you ever get a chance to read the flavor text on that, talks about Old Chicago. That was the first mention of Old Chicago. Bungie was founded in Old Chicago, which is why it's something that gets mentioned a lot. But bizarrely, since Beyond Light came out, in the season of the Hunt, there were various flavor texts throughout that mention Old Chicago, specifically old buildings, a tomb, and various things, people being murdered out there, lots of things going on in Old Chicago. We suggest that if we're mentioning it that early in a lead up to Witch Queen, that'd be where we're going, I would have thought.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. Somewhere new. I'll get that. Please, once again, hashtag, please don't take me to Venus. Hashtag, please don't take me to Venus.
It's going to be the other side of the raid, the side that we can't go into.
I know. But yeah, that's pretty much the TWAB. That's what they left us with. Very straightforward, to the point. I like it. It's pretty good. This one was written by DMG. He's pretty good. Maybe next week we'll get Cosmo to do it, and we can find those cats.
Yay, cats.
I know. Find the kitty cat. All right, guys, we get to the part of the episode where we have story time with Snail, lore corner with Snail. And
so I was told that I look like I fall asleep during this time, so I'm really going to pay attention, Snail. I just want to let you know. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Please
Very
proceed.
kind.
Yeah. What are we talking about today, Snail?
So we're going to cover a couple of topics that all sort of interlink together. So from Savathun's song to City Unrest to what Crow's been up to, and much more, and why I'm wearing a crown on my head, and so Ness has as well, and what's going on with that particular thing. So the crown piece. So what did I mention last week, guys? What crown am I referring to?
Yes, you want to take this one, or you want me to do it?
Sorrows.
The crown of sorrow. Yes.
The crown of sorrow. Excellent. So that's quite an important piece of information that we talked about last week, because Osiris in his wisdom has taken this to the last city, into the tower.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's a good job that it's nothing that Savathun owned. Oh, it was. Okay. All right. There's City Unrest you hear. Yes, there is City Unrest. I wonder why. We'll find out. And the story sort of played out this week that suggested there is a lot of City Unrest going on. And what's going on with that? So if you did play the story this week, you would have heard that the Elixir have had an attack, and that the people of the city have stolen some ether from the Elixir. there was a big argument with Lakshmi, who didn't want the elixir there and said they would replenish their reserves if they left. But clearly they don't want to leave. So there's a standoff going on. Yeah. Interestingly mentioned behind the scenes, Crow actually interrupted the standoff with the loss of the ether. He foiled the attempt to destroy it all with a quite aggressive stance that he pulled his gun out to the extent that Glint questioned whether he would have killed humans to protect the elixir. Now, do we know why it's an interesting stance in Crow and why the elixir are important to Crow? And previously, as he was Aldrin, his view of the elixir as Aldrin. Any ideas on
wasn't he like disgusted by it? Well, no, because I feel like at one point didn't they work with him or something like that? I could have sworn that was a thing. No,
I don't know if it has to do
kind
with
of.
I don't know if it has to do with the different houses, some sort of of respect.
So you got the problem that the Scorn are created from the elixir. So that's Aldrin's doing. So he wasn't very kind to elixir as Aldrin. But as Crow, he was brought up by or supported by elixir and spent some time with them. So he's got a view of looking after them. He's met some nasty ones, but he spent some time with some good ones. And there is a bit of text previous weeks which talks about the fact that the Crow requested to support the elixir resettlement and look after them, which he was rebuffed by Zavala and Ikora because of their worry about who he was previously. And he goes on this big thing about what do I do? Keep hiding from the shadow of the man I was. And Ikora coming back saying not forever, but they're worried. They're trying to protect him, and it's understandable because his face brings back so many memories to so many different people for so many reasons. And I get that they don't want to put him in a position where he's attacked for who he was and not who he is.
Yeah.
So you've got that running behind the scenes. Really interesting. The city kind of turning on Crow to some extent because those people that attacked the elixir literally told him he was on the wrong side and spattered him, which kind of puts him in an awkward position. So with that going on, we've got a city rising up, and we've got Lakshmi telling us that have you heard it, the song of the people, which is quite a scary song. To be fair. Have we heard the song, everybody?
Yeah, the moon made out of cheese. Like this couldn't pick a better song.
That's Shax's song. That's nothing to do with this.
But I thought that was the whole song this whole time.
Thanks for reading my notes.
It's made
just
of cheese.
Ruin the plot. I didn't even think that we rehearse these things. Anyway, no. So the Lakshmi song is Rise Up as One, march toward the sun. Now in itself doesn't say a lot, although it is ringing around the city and everybody's singing it. Unfortunately for us, it's sang in the tune of Savathun's song, now which we've heard many moons ago, which is why Ness mentions moons, because there's a famous song which Shax sings in that same tune, I'm on the moon. It's made of cheese. This is terrifying to some extent because we've heard Savathun's song all the way through since Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
Now, why is this song particularly scary? Can anyone tell me?
I don't know what the meaning of the song. The only thing I can tell you is the fact that everybody, it's almost like an earworm, kind of stays on you, and you're able to kind of sing it and I don't know, maybe is that a way to manipulate your mind? Is that a way the Savathun's using to kind of mind control?
Pick me.
Yeah.
Pick me.
Pick you. Go on, Ness.
Mind control.
Well, yes.
Mind control.
Yeah.
Boom.
So Savathun's song is the song that can't be unheard.
Yeah.
Little is known of the effects, but we do know that she is the high god of trickery, the high god of manipulation, and she has got various mind control techniques, and this is one of them. It's a good job no one took the Crown of Sorrow to the tower. Did Osiris take the Crown of Sorrow to the tower?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Well done. So that was another way, and it's bizarre that we've got that thrown into the story, because we've got Gowron, who used to wear it, who was mind controlled into doing what he did, and now we've got that device sat in the tower with the city in unrest, a song of Savathun being sang by everybody, and even worse than that, even the binary code that is behind the tower and all the computer systems is also singing the song in binary, which is even more scary. So the whole of the tower and the last city is infected by Savathun's song. And when you actually translate the binary, which you can read in the flavor text for the shotgun for this season. It is the music notes for Savathun's song, which now means that everybody is affected by Savathun. And as Osiris just taken Savathun straight directly into the tower, and it's all happening from within.
That is scary. That is trippy. You
Every
know what?
times.
I don't know whether to give Bungie credit for this, but this is amazing, guys. Do you guys know what got released 3 years ago today?
I do.
What is this now? It was
The
two
Crown of
things.
Sorrow.
The Crown of Sorrow, the Season of the Opulence, and with that raid layer was the Crown of Sorrow. So I don't know if Bungie had this 3-year story, plant that seed, water it little by little. Man, Bungie storytelling has been amazing this year. I don't know, man. They should win every award for that stuff. It's so cool.
Do you remember the end of that raid?
Yes. You go inside the helmet after you kill the guy, right?
And what happens inside the helmet when you go inside?
I don't know. I was really excited because I got the Terba, but go ahead. I forgot.
So when you enter the helmet,
because I didn't get the Terba, excuse me, I was kind of upset. Sorry.
Yeah. When you enter the helmet, you can see hive runes inside the helmet.
Okay.
Which is what the mind control bit is. And funny enough, every Guardian that did that raid, for some reason or another, went inside to have a look.
Yeah. Curiosity.
And at that point there, we were affected by the Song of Savathun.
What?
Yeah. Started, I think at one point Crow was singing it. He was whistling it. He didn't even know where he heard it from. He was just whistling.
Well, Eris in the background, if you go to the moon, you can hear a little high pitch noise behind her. That high pitch noise is Savathun's song. It's kind of scary. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Oryx was a bad mofo. You know, we talk about my man. You know, I thought he was
my man. Oryx.
Yeah, I thought he was a crazy guy, but looks like Savathun's going to be a very formidable foe that we're going to face, man. Very interesting. Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, yeah, that's awesome, Snail. Thank you so much for that information. Hopefully things get better before they get worse, which sounds like it probably isn't. Looking forward to next week's lore episode. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for giving us that information. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode, guys. I mean, unless you guys have anything else we can bring up, that's pretty much episode 33 in the books. Like I said, I didn't have a chance to play too much Destiny this week, but I'm gonna catch up. Definitely gonna check out that story.
Nice.
Even though Snail didn't want to spoil it for me before the show, but he says really check it out. So I will do that. And if you guys do that with me, tell me about it. Message me. In fact, my name is Vega, and my gamer tag is Vega6417. And you can find me on Xbox Live. And if you want to message me, see what you guys' thoughts are, I'm on Twitter, and my Twitter handle is Jasubius. Also, you can message me on Xbox Live if you want. I stream every other time I get a chance to. Every Thursday, that's my goal. I've been having some few things done with work, so I haven't had a chance to stream that often. But Thursdays stream, that's under Twitch TV /Triple Vega. Check it out, get a follow, come into the chat, say hello. But yeah, reach out to all of us, man. We definitely have we can communicate with you guys. We can definitely share our thoughts, and if you ever want to talk about fashion, make sure you check out check out what
Yeah.
what Ness has to say, especially when you ask her a question. Follow her. Go ahead, Ness. Tell your information room.
All right. My name is Liness1 on Xbox and Twitch. So yeah, if you want help or anything like that, or you need somebody for PvP, hit me up. On Instagram, I have my personal Instagram, AlexisB1. It has nothing but artwork. And then genuine_apathy is our clan name. So please send us messages if you want us. I thank you for the people who have sent message. Smooth my balls. Bromance guy, thank you very much.
My balls, I love
We're
it.
not going to talk about business. And Sean Gray, thank you for listening. Really love your messages. What's that? Snail?
I'm Snail 2268. It's pointless doing anything on Instagram because I rarely go on it. So if anyone expects me to repost stuff, I wouldn't wait forever because I rarely go on it. I don't Twitch very often, even though I've got a Twitch channel. I have to be persuaded to do that. But if I'm on Xbox, please join me, have a conversation. It's all good in the world. That's me.
Thank you so much.
I also stream on Wednesdays. I forgot. I stream on Wednesdays. That's right.
Yes. And also check out the Twitter for the Three Warlocks podcast, which is at Warlocks3. You actually find all of us in there. One of us will check it out. One of us will see the message or anything like that. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me this week. We'll be having another episode next week, and one of our Warlocks is taking a much needed vacation the week after that. So we're working on something for you guys for that episode. We'll announce it probably next week. See what we're gonna do. Something special. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Eyes up, Guardians, and always remember,
When in Rome.
when in Rome. Thank you. See
The
you guys next
cats are
week.
amongst the pigeons.
Cats amongst pigeons.
No.